Hello friends, welcome back to My Kitchen, My Rules. And if you are new to the channel, hello friends and welcome. You should know that this is pretty much just life in Leigh Brown's kitchen without a camera crew, and frankly just kind of making things up as I go. And today I'm dealing with figs, and I mean for real, like my tree is given this year. I have never ever in my life seen figs this big. And if size matters, then my tree is winning right now. It's crazy. And this is the front end of fig season because the trees tend to give twice. There's about 1 million out there. So I'm fixing to make some fig jam, because if y'all didn't notice, in all the schwanky restaurants, it's all about the fig jam these days with prosciutto and bacon, and they always do match it up with really good salty meat. That's how it rolls. And I'm going to use my nice little Cutco knife. Thank you, Kristen, for my nice present. Realtors know about Cutco knives because a lot of them give these out as presents. I never have because I'm cheap, but you know, I might now, who knows. So the first thing we're going to do is quarter our figs, and all you really have to do is cut off the end. You do not have to peel them or any of that. You're just going to stem it and quarter it, stemming it and quartering it. And it's really easy because they're so soft. Now, for those of y'all that are fig newbies, maybe you never saw the insides of a fig before. There's the insides of a fig. Oh, yum. See? They're so good. And I'm just tossing it in my stock pot here. So for this recipe, you can make small batches, medium batches, large batches. I have so many figs that I cannot shake a stick at them, so I'm making a large batch. So you need 1 pound of figs to start with. I've got 5 pounds on my cutting board here, and there's about 50 million pounds on my tree. So if you live near to Concord or Charlotte and you're looking for a good realtor, I mean, you need figs, you should totally reach out, because I'm gonna have figs for days. I still have some preserves left from last year. So this year we're not making preserves, we're making jam. So for your ingredients, you need figs, fresh figs. I don't think you could use dried ones for this. I would not recommend it because that sounds nasty, frankly. Oh, and by the way, friends, maybe you're the one who's been asking me for vegan and vegetarian recipes. This is vegan, right? I guess. Does honey count as vegan? There's honey in it, but honey comes, well, I mean, bees make it, but they don't like excrete it. So I think this is still going to count as vegan in my world, because you're going to need lemons, because for each pound of figs you need a lemon, and we're going to take off the rind. And you're going to need what? Yes, you need some Dixie Crystal sugar, the white granulated. You know, it's been around since 1917, and if you've been watching my show and haven't yet tried it, friends, you don't understand. It's legit different. It's better. And it's actually healthier for you than all the artificial stuff because it only has a few calories. Check it out. I'm right. I'm always right. And if you want to try it, put yourself a comment down here and say, I need some Dixie Crystals, Leigh Brown. I want some Dixie Crystals, because they sent me coupons because they love me. So, hey, Dixie Crystals. And by the way, they were sending me coupons before I asked because I really love that brand. The other thing you need is honey. Now, I have honey from across the street because I have neighbors that have beekeeping hive things. And if you did not know, honey is so good for your allergies, but only if it's from like right directly across the street from you. If you buy honey from states and countries away, then it's not going to have the same impact. And I do like the Manuka honey that comes from New Zealand, but frankly, first of all, I can't get there right now. And second of all, it's not going to have the same benefit as local, and it's really tasty. So we're going to have honey in here and sugar and lemon, and then you're going to have a little bit of thyme. Now, if I had remembered to go to the grocery store, I would have some fresh thyme because I don't grow it. I grow rosemary and basil, but you can also use thyme leaves as long as they're halfway fresh. So we have the McCormick ones today. And I need my big stock pot. Now, if you're just doing 1 pound, you could probably use your little old saucepan, be fine. But if you're going to do something, do it big. Now, this stuff, you can actually can it if you want to. If you've discovered any canning and preserving equipment, you can also just put it in jars. It'll keep in the refrigerator for easily a month, because it doesn't really have anything in it that'll spoil. And you should know that when you have this many fresh figs, that's why I'm still wearing my work clothes, because these things will turn so quickly, and I do not want to waste the goodness of the Lord. And I mention that because figs are in the Bible, y'all. This is legit like a biblical recipe, so it will help you find the Lord, and then it will also help you find some breakfast, because you could put this on a piece of toast, But you could also put it on a biscuit. And for all you young people that are maybe stumbled into my channel, hello, millennials, y'all eat avocado toast all the time. You had ought to try some fig toast because, you know, as a mother, I should tell y'all there's a high fiber content in figs, and these will make you regular. And so if your stomach is hurting, every good mother will tell you that the first thing you do is go, you know, give it a minute and see if that will handle things. And figs will help you take that minute and turn it into 30 seconds. I'm just, you know, being smart here. So see how easily and quickly we have quartered up all those figs. And the next thing we're going to add to our pot is our sugar. And you need 3/4 of a cup for every pound of figs. So I have 5 pounds of figs. For all you math whizzes, you could do 3/4 times 5, but maybe you don't do math on the fly, so you can just count threes. So 1, 2, 3, and that's 1 pound's worth. All right, the next thing we're going to add to the pot is our thyme, and you need a couple of sprigs for each pound of figs. So I'm going to just put maybe like I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon or so in here because I have 5 pounds. So that's about 1/4 teaspoon. We'll sprinkle it in here. By the way, when you're using dried herbs, sniff them and make sure you can still smell them good, because they do lose their potency after a little bit of time. So let's just put a wee tiny bit more in there. It just adds a little depth to it. You can also add lavender if you have lavender. That's really, really good with honey and with lemon, so try that sometime. And now I need to get a spoon to get my honey here. So let's get out our honey. Make sure we've got an in-camera shot here. Yes. And now we need, oh my gosh. So this is the difference in store-bought and from the neighbor's house. It's so good. You need 2 tablespoons for each pound. So we're going to need 10 tablespoons. And this might take a minute because honey has that viscosity. You know, we talk about viscosity in NASCAR, but it also applies to honey. All right, 3. And I'd love to know how the captioning thing is going to translate viscosity. They probably don't have that a whole lot in the captioning software. Of course, I reckon they don't have NASCAR a lot either, and it would probably try and not capitalize it, and that would just be against the rules. And I am not counting, so I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing instead of running my mouth. But it's just kind of like showing property. I'm not the only one that's been out with clients not looking at the map and not looking at anything else, just talking. Suddenly I've gone 2 streets too far and I have to say, ha, ha, ha. I'm not paying attention sometimes, but that's just realtor life. All right, whoever was counting on screen probably knows how many that was, and I don't, so there, I cleaned the edge of the jar. No judgment allowed in my kitchen, my rules. Oh, love honey. Okay, so now we need lemons. So for lemons, I'll close up my honey here. God, it's so good. You need to get the rind off your lemon. Now, when you're getting the rind, it's super important that you do not get the pith. The pith is the white stuff, and that's where the bitterness lives. We don't want the bitter, we want the citrus, all right? So let's just be really clear about what we want. Right, friends? You've got to know what you want in life. So when you get that vegetable peeler out, we are going to very carefully get it going here and peel it just like that. That's about all the more white you might want. See, the white's got to stay on the lemon to make this right. So we need 1 lemon's worth of rind to go in with our figs, which would be, if you've got spots on there too, skip the spots. And just go carefully when you're peeling, because you really want it to be mostly yellow. And if you get just a wee tiny bit of pith, you'll be okay. But you can smell it. And if it's straight up lemon essence, you cannot have to be at a Young Life or a doTERRA party. You just get your own essential oils right here. What? See, and actually I won't even waste this lemon because I mop my floors with lemon oil and vinegar in some warm water, because that cleans them very well without a bunch of chemicals. So for those of y'all that did not know, My Kitchen, My Rules also has a clean floor. Actually, you did know that because who have subscribed, Y'all know how aggravated I get when I drop stuff on the floor because it means I have to mop again. And yes, I do mop. And yes, I like a clean house. And yes, I'm a little bit obsessive about it. And don't judge me. That's how I roll. All right. So we got the pith off. Pith is on, rind is off. And then we actually need a little bit of juice to help offset that sweet, because you got a lot of sweet with that wonderful deep sea crystals and with the figs. So let's just cut that half in two. And you probably need about the half of the lemon's worth of juice for each pound. So we'll just juice a couple of these, yeah? And that'll count for 2 of my pounds. And then we'll have a little bit more to go. All right, so that's my juicer that I get from the Pampered Chef. I don't know if they still sell it or not. If they do, then good luck and get one, and it's wonderful. Okay, now comes the easy part. So really, it didn't take y'all that long to put this together. Anyway, look, I threw half a lemon in, not paying attention. Don't cook that part. So now we're gonna put it on a medium heat. And while the oven's heating up, we're gonna stir to combine. So we're just gonna stir up our lovely ingredients here, our honey, lemon juice, figs, lemon rind, and thyme. Get them nicely mixed in. Now the amount of time that you cook it is going to determine how thick it gets. So I like mine a little bit thicker because I want to make sure I can spread it on bread. That's going to take about 50 minutes or so. Then you let it cool completely, pour it into a jar, and enjoy it for a nice month or so. Or give it to friends. In fact, if you are looking for a great realtor, you should call this one because you might get fig jam. I'm just saying. In the meantime, enjoy your cooking, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, so the last step in finishing up your fig jam after you get it to the consistency you like, and let's have a look. So I like mine chunky, but if you are not a chunky jam person, then get your little stick blender or whatever it is you use to make soups or protein shakes or what have you, and puree it down. And then the last thing you want to do is make sure that you dip out all of your lemon rind. And if you were using big pieces of thyme, you would dip them out. I don't have stems, I just had little pieces so I can leave the thyme alone. But dip out that lemon rind, spread this on a biscuit, and tell me this is not good, fresh stuff. Make sure you subscribe for more. Give me a like and a thumbs up. Ask for some Dixie crystals in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.